I'm Colin Singer, immigration lawyer and managing partner of Immigration.ca. Canada Immigration News Articles, May 2016. Quebec looks for answers to falling birth rate and aging population. Quebec's birth rate has fallen to an all-time low, with 1.6 children born for every woman in the province in 2015. With the population also getting older, immigration as a tool to offset these demographic changes is being questioned by some critics, who claim that Quebec's cultural identity is being harmed. The Liberal provincial government is keen to increase immigration levels to 60,000 a year from the current level of 50,000, but is waiting for the right time to make this change. The Liberals had to backtrack on their proposal to increase immigrant numbers due to a negative response it received in the province. This is indicative of the sensitivity that exists on the topic of immigration in the province of Quebec. Some say that to reverse the aging population trend, far greater numbers than 50,000 or 60,000 a year are required. Others argue that 50,000 new immigrants a year is already having an impact on the province's unique cultural identity. Historically, immigration in Quebec focused heavily on a French language requirement in order to maintain the balance of society. But the result was not an influx of immigrants from Europe, but from French Africa, who brought with them a vastly different culture and found difficulties integrating into society. Now, there is an acceptance that language alone is not an indicator of an ability to adapt to Quebec culture. Then there is the imbalance that exists between the city of Montreal, where most immigrants settle, and the province of Quebec as a whole. Statistics Canada projects a third of the population of Montreal will be made up of visible minority groups by 2031. The proportion will be no more than 5% for the rest of Quebec. This points to a growing cultural gap between the city of Montreal and the province as a whole. The province of Quebec administers its own immigration programs with selection criteria that are distinct and more predictable from those of federal or other provincial immigration programs. Foreign nationals wishing to settle permanently in Quebec must undergo a two-step immigration process. First, they must be selected by Immigration, Diversity and Inclusion, Quebec's immigration authority. Selected applicants will receive a Quebec Certificate of Selection. Second, an approved CSQ holder must file an application with Canadian federal immigration authorities. The federal government's role in evaluating a Quebec application for permanent residence is mainly limited to issues of health and criminality. Quebec is also the only province to operate its own immigrant investor program, known as the Quebec Immigrant Investor Program. The program is controversial because of claims those who are granted residency often settle in other provinces.